Hi, everyone. Oh, okay. So this is my second video that I'm allowing myself to record so that I can continue to practice downloading and channeling what wants to come through. I'm Alex Ryberg, and I'm a channeler, an intuitive, an empath, a clairsentient, and I funnel these things into many varying projects and services, including self-mastery and business coaching for wellness professionals, spiritual entrepreneurs and healers, spiritual mentorship, integrative health practices, yoga teaching, and varying tools for healing. So earlier, like as in just now, I got off of a session that I gifted with somebody, and she had asked me the question, has your work always felt like work? Or something like that. It was, did it feel hard? Did it feel like a lot of effort to get going, doing what you do? And so here's the thing, I'm 30 years old. I have been more or less completely self-employed since I was 25, give or take. Up until that point, I had maybe some side gigs, like I worked at a coffee shop here or there, or I taught yoga at studios where I didn't necessarily have to generate the income. But for the last 7 years, about 90% of my work has come through being self-employed as a healer and as a transformational guide, although I was quite resistant to calling it transformational guidance at the time. I had a judgment of the word transformation, which I don't have anymore. So the question was, has it always felt hard? Has it always felt difficult? Or did it feel difficult when you got started? And the truth is, no, it didn't. It felt quite easy to do what I did. It was just very natural. It was very natural for me to manipulate energy with my hands as a Somaveda yoga therapist. It was very natural for me to see patterns in human bodies and guide people to break through them through holding different yoga postures. It was very natural for me to see patterns in emotional processes and help people make different choices to break through those emotional processes. It was something I was always meant to do. However, what was quote unquote hard were simple logistical things like generating a flyer or keeping track of a spreadsheet or mailing out forms that were necessary to maintain my legal infrastructure. And so here's the thing. If you're here to be a guide, if you're here as somebody who is assisting people in waking up to varying levels of consciousness, if you're a light worker of some kind, if you're a spiritual mentor, if you're a healer, if you're an intuitive, all of those little things, they're not meant to be fun. Like the generating the flyer, the maintaining of the spreadsheet, the ensuring of the physical infrastructure of your business. They're just little things that you must keep up with, like brushing your teeth or vacuuming the house or dusting the dresser or changing the oil in your car. If these are reasons why you are stopping yourself from moving forward into your vision or into your desire, it's just an excuse. There's an underlying story going on that is using these excuses as reasons not to continue. And so that underlying story or that underlying belief system 9 times out of 10 has something to do with an inner child dialogue that was programmed into your neural pathways, or that your neural pathways were programmed as a result of way earlier on in your life. And it is your role to figure out what that story is. Yeah. Now, the other thing that we talked about when she asked me the question, like, did it feel hard? Was it hard to get started? Like, did it feel like work, basically? Was that when you're moving to make change, when you're making effort toward changing your life or changing the way that you offer your services or changing your business, resistance is going to show up. Resistance is simply the subconscious protecting itself from the unknown. For some reason or another, it firmly believes that whatever you're pursuing, even if it's as simple as an email to somebody that you don't know, that whatever you are pursuing is entirely unsafe. It goes against the programming that to stay safe, we only pursue that which we know. We stay in a infrastructure of familiarity. So to counter that, to shift that habit, you have to take an action that goes against everything that you've ever done, which will aid in neuroplasticity, which will carve out new neural pathways, which over time will become your default way of being. And when you take that action could be the easiest thing. It could truly only amount to 60 seconds of time, perhaps. And there's no reason for it to be a hard thing to do, but it will be uncomfortable. That's the difference. The subconscious associates hard with uncomfortable, and they're two separate things. So, whatever that action is, emailing the connection that you've been desiring to network with, or raising your prices, or if it's simply just for spiritual growth, sitting down and meditating for 10 minutes a day, changing your diet, implementing new ways of communicating, taking that class that you've been avoiding. All of these things are forms of actions that will tell your subconscious that you're no longer listening to whatever reasoning it's using to stop you from moving forward. Oh, and I can help you with those things if you want it. But if you don't, that's okay too. How can I help you? Through varying coaching packages. I work with those who are simply seeking spiritual growth. And I also work with those who want to apply spiritual growth and self-mastery processes to scaling their spiritually based and heart-centered based businesses, their services, healers, wellness professionals, yoga teachers, and the like. Okay, great. I hope that this was helpful for you in some capacity. And I'll have to figure out what I'm going to call this. I don't know. But you'll continue to see more and more from me. Turning fear into action, or action changes the subconscious. I don't know. You're welcome to give me feedback. I'll take the constructive criticism. I'll take the positive feedback. The whole gamut. None of it can really harm me. It'll just give me data to continue to use for growth. Okay, thank you. Bye.